Alright guys, so right off the bat you could see the clear speed with this thing. It makes a lot of sense. This was my biggest scare when I started this build, was that the clear speed was not going to be there, but as you can see, we do not have to charge the actual Scourge arrow skill, because the poison is just going to proliferate from the hit of the single arrow. We don't need to charge it at all, so that was a relief. Because clear was going to be like my main issue, I thought. Single target damage was going to be fine, but the clear was going to be kind of meh. But with the Pathfinder Ascendancy and the sheer damage we have, we do not have to channel the skill. We just have to hit the pack box. So I wanted to see you guys to see that. And in terms of what kind of damage we're doing, well, the Alberons Warpath, the replica version, is kind of bonkers. I built the entire thing around it. That was the main idea. Strength stacking Scourge arrow. As you can see, the pack dies pretty quickly, and so does the boss. The main issue that I was gonna face with it was the leech, because you're supposed to go regen with these types of builds. When you're going for a chaos or a poison build, normally you don't really leech, especially with a Scourge arrow, because you just hit once. It's one big hit, and so there's no leech. Properly speaking, that you can have like constantly on you. So what you're gonna have to do is like stack regen, but I didn't want to do that because stacking regen costs a lot of passive points. You gotta sacrifice placeholders on your build, on your gear. So the other option was to simply make sure that I'm always regenning, and we're using Enduring Cry for that. And we're using a carry flask, and surprisingly mostly never happens where I actually need to like have one of the two happen, or I would die. It rarely happens, maybe like once every 20 maps. So and I include bossing because my main issue was going to be bossing. I was like, when I'm bossing, will I have the flasks up or the Enduring Cry up? And I did. It was pretty consistent. What I really like for now about this thing is really the clear speed. Like you saw me clear that Chimera map really fast. Of course, like it's not the old tornado shot speed, but I mean for a league starter, because there's one thing you guys need to know. This thing was super cheap. I mean, I did not invest like more than 1 or 2 exalt in it. I don't have a Malevolence Watcher's Eyes. I don't have a faster poison bow. I don't have my awakened gems. I don't have anything. Like, I don't have anything that costs money. I have a 6-ling that I pay like 60 chaos, and I think my bow cost me something like 50 too, and that's about it. Like the rest is only cheap. The only good thing I have on me right now is the Instrumentus. I got lucky and rolled a perfect stat one. I just kept it because we need it for the build. But I'm gonna show you a bit of like min-maxing option, what we could do with this build, because it does implode Chimera really fast, so you're gonna see. And also the strength. I mean, like, you're probably asking, Gorst, why did you want to go strength? I mean, the Scourge arrow, the regular one, it was pretty strong. You're right, but there's two things. First, it's a league start, so getting Darkscorn for the regular Scourge arrow is kind of expensive. I think it's around 4 exalt right now. So that's a thing that we don't want to pay as a league starter. And the other thing is, you know, the life pool. I will show you really soon that the life pool is worth it. Without good gear, right now I have about 6,000 health, only from strength stacking. Because every time you stack your strength, you do get a lot of health. And that's a thing that it's kind of hard to do when you go poison, because you gotta go grab a lot of nodes. You gotta scale either your physical or your chaos damage. You gotta get that flat fizz, that flat chaos damage, whatever. And that costs a lot of like point, gear slot, and whatnot. So it's hard to scale your life with that. And normally if you go see out there, most of those builds have around 4,300 elf pool. And I think in the current state of the game, 4,300 elf pool is kind of piece of shit of like what you could expect. Doing hardcore bosses with that kind of life pool is just asking for trouble. So let's jump into the build. I'll explain you my train of thoughts and how it went. Alright, so I'm sorry in advance because of the camera's lighting, because I moved recently, and apparently the lighting for this is screwing around with my camera, but I just figured that you guys are not here for my pretty face, and you're here to see those sweet ass builds, so we're just going to focus on that. All right, so this is a strength stacking Scourge arrow character. The main idea was for me to use the replicas Alberons Warpath. I wanted to do something about it. You're probably gonna ask why, and like I said in the intro, it's because like right now with my crappy gear and what I have in terms of strength, which is 1,500, we're getting 2,400 flat chaos damage. Now, like having 2,400 flat physical damage is really hard. Having that amount in elemental damage is equally hard, if not impossible. Like getting all that flat elemental or physical damage, even with an abyssus, it's almost impossible. So for chaos damage, it's even rarer to get that. So I figured, hey, this is probably the strongest, like the way in the game to get the most flat amount of something, which is chaos damage. Now, the downside is chaos damage doesn't scale with a lot of things, but it will scale well with poison. So I figured, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna do a poison build, and I figured Scourge Arrow would be my best bet. Why? And I might be wrong with this because I haven't tested every single avenue of it. It's because Scourge Arrow does one big hit, okay? And you might not have noticed, but it's 1 out of 80 chaos damage. So it's between 40 chaos damage and 2,400 chaos damage. That's a huge gap. And what's going to happen is that on average, you're going to do like lower end than what you would want to, but with Scourge Arrow, if you hit like a big number, and this is one of the things I want you guys to know, is that sometimes farming or bossing, you're going to be like shooting arrows, and this time you're going to be like, oh well, this pack did not die as fast as it should, that's weird. And then you're going to hit the pack and it's going to implode on itself. And it's the same thing with bosses. Sometimes you're going to hit a boss, you're going to charge your attack, and the boss is going to be like slowly getting damage, and you're gonna be like, what the hell? And then you're gonna hit him again and he's gonna die instantly. Why? It's because this time you hit your higher hand of your flat chaos damage. And yeah, I did not enjoy leveling with this thing because I leveled like a dumbass. I tried to scale my strength before going for my poison passive, and this is my first thing. While you're leveling, go get those poison passive, please. Okay, don't be like me and try to strength stack, like build your strength while you're leveling. You're not gonna have a good time. If you do get your poison node though, it's gonna be easy. This is a good league starter. It goes really well. Like I'm pretty sure you could do all the content. I did not try everything because like normally I know you guys see Shaper Fight at the end of the video. There's not on this one because on league starters it's hard for me to get the currency to do it. Also, it's a hassle. I would want to min-max this before investing into a Shaper Fight, or at least make it like tankier and like stronger. All right, so this is the point of entry. This is the only thing you need to make the build smooth and like be able to start it. You need a bow with 60% chance for poison with this weapon to deal 100 more damage. People are probably screaming at the screen right now saying, Gorse, why don't you use Darkscorn? I tried, I bought one. I managed to get the Exalt to buy a Darkscorn, and it felt like shit. Why? Because Darkscorn has 20% chance to increase your poison damage. And that results in you shooting at packs and not proccing and be like, what the fuck is happening? And same thing on bosses. And at some point, it's going to hit. Yes, you're going to do more damage than with a bow like this, but it's going to feel way worse. Okay, so trust me on this. Try this bow. If you want to go Darkscorn, it's also fine. It's just, I didn't feel it was smooth for farming. And for me, you saw how Chimera died. Like, we don't need more damage. Like, we're going to scale more damage as we min-max this thing. Just Darkscorn is just overkill. So this thing is fine. Second thing you're gonna look, chaos damage over time multiplier is really strong. Like you pretty much need it on your bow because you can get like 30 something, and this is a multiplier, so it boosts your DPS quite well. After that, it's to increase attack speed. The Colic Strike is just a bonus because I bought it like that. It's not necessary. You won't feel the difference between it because Killing Strike is just like your packs are not gonna die from Killing Strike because it's the poison that kills them, and you're not actually hitting the mobs, so you're just gonna shoot once, and Killing Strike is useless. Then there's this that I like very much. The helm with gain accuracy equal to your strength. Is it necessary? No, we have a good amount of dexterity, okay? You're going to be able to stack it, but we save a couple of passives. Like I saved 3 passive point from taking this thing. Because once you got that, you just don't need anything from your accuracy. That's your all your accuracies right here. You don't need any more. The broadhead arrow quiver, we're going for 23% increased chaos damage over time. Astromantis, there's a better option. I will explain when I explain to you guys how to min-max. But other than that, you just go Astromantis. Allocate physique, which gives you 30% strength right off the bat for really cheap, like 1 chaos, and you can allocate physique. I really strongly advise you guys do that. Your rings are essentially here to cover your resistance. So you get strength, life, and the resist. This and focus on the resistance, because it's pretty much the only piece where you can hit resistance and you don't need to go get anything for damage. This one, okay, I will explain it right now. This one has Despair on hit. Is Witchfire Brew stronger? Yes. Witchfire Brews will be stronger for our DPS, and honestly, it would make more sense to go with a Witchfire Brew, but the main difference between this and using a Witchfire Brew is that the Witchfire Brew flasks, for those of you who don't know what it is, I do not have one. I thought I have it, but I don't. For those of you who don't know what it does, it just uses a it's a Stibmonite flask that makes you use Despair on it, level 21, and it's a lot stronger for whatever reason than this. I don't know how they work, the new curse on ring, but I felt like this was a lot weaker than my Despair from my Witchfire Brew flask. But that being said, freeing a slot for Witchfire Brew let us have a Stibmonite Flask of Stanching, okay? And it lets us have Blood of the Karui instead of like a life flask to take care of those pesky bleeds. And this is very strong on a Pathfinder. Like, we have a big health pool. I didn't show you guys my health pool yet. Want to see how big my health pool is? See what I did there? It's 5,700. Okay, it's close to 6,000 for basically no investment into passive other than like strength. So that's really, really good. I'm level 89, by the way. I'm fairly low leveled yet, and I managed to get to Guardian easy peasy and without any investment. So yeah, this build's really solid. I'm advising you guys to get the path of building as min-max as possible before tackling the endgame content, but you saw how strong it is, how tanky it is. The gauntlets, we're gonna be capping our resist, some strength, some life. Ideally, this is the pair you would want. That one, I priced it at 4 exalt because I'm retarded. It's not worth this. I was just like trolling. But you would want chaos damage over time multiplier, resistance, life, and strength on it. But I could not put my resist up, and so I had to. I'll put it back at 4 exalt. It's not worth 4 exalt. It's just because sometimes there's none on the list, and people buy it for really expensive numbers for whatever reason because they're stupid. And I like stupid people in this game because they make me money. So yeah, that's normally what you would want for a gauntlet. The belt here is the most expensive piece I think I have. It's like 1x. Strength, life, a little bit of resistance, and very important, increase attributes. This is going to help you stack your strength. So get that as soon as you have your 6th link. Of course, Alberons Warpath. All right. And I just noticed that it's at 15% instead of 18. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not even close min-maxing this, okay? And it's still raping the Atlas. Like, I've been, no joke, bending over the Serious Guardian. I wish I recorded them, and I've been raping them really hard. Like, it's fairly easy, okay? For a 6th link, ideally, you would want... I will show you your perfect 6th link or close to perfect 6th link that you would want. And it's going to be like, I sold it. God damn it. I forgot I sold it. Basically, you would want increased attribute strength for 12%, then strength, life, and try to cap your resistance that are not capped yet. But this is super cheap, and it was the one I chose to go because I was poor. I'm a very poor man for now. So this is it for the main gear, okay? Now, Divergent Scourge Arrow gives you one more torn arrow when you use pods, and this is increasing our DPS because people who say that people who say that you don't increase that your arrow can only hit one time an enemy have either not tested it or are retarded. I don't know which one. I've tested it. It works. Okay. If you have a small target, you better hit them with the big arrow. Okay. So you try to hit them with the big arrow. But if you have like a big target, like the Shaper or a Guardian or something that's has a big ass, you want to hit them with the spores. You want to hit the arrow like further away and let the spore hit them, because the spores do less damage. But if there's like 3 or 4 that hits him, it's going to do a lot more damage. And so Divergent Scourge Arrow is great for that. Not necessary, but great. Unbound Ailment, Infused Channeling, Divergent Vile Toxin, because we want our poison to do damage 5% faster. So get that new quality. Void Manipulation. I don't have a single Awakened Gem. Void Manipulation and Anomalous Deadly Ailment Support. This is great because supported skill have 90% increased duration of ailment on enemies. I forgot to mention that increased duration of ailment you inflict while focus is mandatory, because for boss fight, all you have to do is press your focus button and it's basically going to almost double your damage. And this is not the best craft you can get, because you can go up to 130%, but I didn't find it yet. So like I said, this is not min-maxed, like not even close. So that's it for the main link. Okay, normally people like to go for totems, okay, spell totems. I personally hate spell totems with these types of things because they die so easy. You gotta strategically place them or they don't do anything. So I personally chose to go with Greater Multiple Projectile, Blast Rain, Marriage Archer, and Divergent Withering Touch. Divergent because it has a chance to stack another Wither. So this is what you need, and if you can, you put a 5th link and you link increased duration on it. Now, Vile Breach. Here's the thing. Okay, Vile Breach is, I didn't show you in the video, but it's basically the delete post for bosses, because you're going to spread your poison. So if you have a bunch of mobs that are all agglomerated to a boss and you shoot an arrow through them and they die, all their, like, let's say they get 12 poison, their 12 poison is going to go right on the boss and he's gonna die. So but it's kind of cheating. This is the cheat button. If you don't have any budget, you just stack this up, pop Vile Breach before the boss start, and then you one shot him. All right, this is the cheat button here. Second wind support dash increased duration Enduring Cry. You have to link Enduring Cry and increased duration with second wind. That's a must for you to have a decent regen speed, because they nerfed Enduring Cry and it takes longer to recharge. So as you can see, the buff here was disappearing faster than the cooldown was back. And so that's why we need the Blood of the Karui, because when we're not on cooldown, we want to heal. We have nothing to regen as we tried, and so you need to do that. Increased duration, second wind support, cast when damage taken, anomalous molten shell, not more than level 10, and level 1 cast when damage taken. This is great. You gotta try this, okay? Because we're gonna use, probably you guys were wondering why we're using Stibnite Flask and the Chemist Jade Flask. It's like, why is he go evasion? I hate evasion. It sucks. Evasion sucks. I hate it too. If you're not playing a trickster, honestly, playing evasion is like suiciding, because as soon as a mob's gonna look at you, well, with the new Wind Dancer node, I haven't tried, but from my past experience, going evasion is kind of a pain in the dick. So we're going armor, and we're using Iron Reflexes, and all that armor is going to translate into you having a 3,000 health pool. So that 6,000 is going to have a 3,000 life shield on top of it. I don't know about you, but I don't really die at 8,000 life. Like, I really need to try to die. Deadly Ailment, Blood Rage, this is not supposed to be here. Blood Rage, Divergent, Malevolence, and and like when you're gonna be able to min max and empower level 4, because the malevolence is gonna cost us nothing because we're going mortal conviction, and we're going blood magic. You'll probably be like, Gorse, why do you do that? Like, it would be better if you'd use what's his name, Scatterbots and the Herald of Agony. 2 reasons. Herald of Agony dies a lot of times, so if you're charging your arrows and he dies and you shoot, you lose the buff, so you're gonna lose like 10% more damage. And if you use the Scatterbots, you kind of have to get close. I like to be like here and my enemy be at the other end of the screen when I shoot. And if I have Scatterbots, it needs to be kind of in your vision sight, because if it's not Scatterbots, it's not going to apply the shocking to the enemy. So I decided to go, and also it's a lot easier because I don't have to manage my mana or anything or blah blah blah. And so I decided to go with Malevolence and a Divergent version. Why? Because it gives increase damage with ailment. There's a version where it gives more increased effect duration, but it wasn't purchasable because it's too expensive. I think, I don't remember, whatever. There was another version of Malevolence that was better, but I couldn't afford it. So take a look out for that. And you link Empower to it. And I honestly, there's probably another link we could put because it costs no mana. I don't know what we could put there, but anything that would make you more powerful, just stick it in there. I didn't feel the need for it because it was hurting so much. I really wanted to test Alberons Warpath. That was why I made this build. So it's like, it's nice. It's a good chunk. It's strength stacking. It feels great. Try it. Just try it. That's all I can say. Thank you for watching. That's all for the build. I think I've covered everything. Oh yeah, passive tree. God damn it. Okay, passive tree. Look, it's gonna be in the path of building, so just download that in your path of building. We're gonna go for blood magic and mortal conviction. Get that while you're leveling. It's gonna help for your health pool and whatnot. Utmost might. It's a must. The rest is pretty conventional. And if you don't have the accuracy, mod on your helm, that is fine. There was like 4 helms with that thing in strength on the market, and so don't panic if you can't find one. Just grab those 3 nodes. With the bronze, we're stacking enough dexterity here to like get acuity, and you're good. You're good. You don't need to panic with your accuracy anymore. All right, so level 89 character, pretty much overpowered. Try it, guys. It's very strong, and I've calculated that I could make it to 1,800 strength. So that would be a lot more damage. So this thing could go like skyrocket. I might, like, when the prices go down, I might try to min-max something with this type of scaling because I had a lot of fun doing it. But for now, as a league starter, this is incredible. So try it. And yeah, leave the comment. I want to know what kind of experience you guys had. Also, stay tuned if you want to see me rant about Heist, because there's a lot of things wrong with this league that I hate, and I will do a rant video to make sure everybody knows I'm pissed. See you later.